So guys, today back from a video on the channel. Today we're here for the Newcastle United vs Liverpool player ratings. We're going to go see the vlog and the rant there on the channel now. But I'm fuming. I really am. I said it all in the rant, I can't be... this is the player ratings, I'm speaking about the player's performance. If you want to go and see me in the initial reaction, not being happy, go and watch the rant and obviously watch the vlog as well. Good names, great atmosphere and late goal by Liverpool. Let's get on the player ratings then. Starting off in goal, Nick Pope. He didn't really do much. He couldn't do nothing with them goals. Darwin Núñez done brilliant. He did. Changed the game when he came on. And he couldn't do nothing with them goals. He came off for the last chance of the game. But he made a couple of decent saves. Not mad by Pope. 7 out of 10. Kieran Trippier, I thought he was absolutely brilliant today. One of his best games in a long time for the Toon. When he touched the ball, the way he moved, the way it was really good. He was brilliant. He was brilliant. Little things like chest the back of the keeper, head back the keeper. He's so good up there, and on the ball he was brilliant. And you know what, right? Even though we lost the game, right? This is on the player ratings. This is not by the result, and it's going to bring them down. From that performance today, Kieran Trippier, 10 out of 10. Centre halves now. We'll start off with Fabian Shaw. Couple of good blocks. Couple of good runs up front. Took that free kick after the Van Dijk red card, but it wasn't as influential as what Botman was to the game. But he done what he could. I don't think he could have done anything for the 2 goals for Darwin Núñez, so I'm going to give Fabian Shaw a good 8 out of 10. Fingers crossed the injury's not bad. Sam Botman, honestly, what a fucking player. I was in the stadium and whatnot. I'm waiting for the Champions League right to come out, and I'm going to get him on this top, I think. If he's injured, then we are absolutely fucked. We really are. I like Dan Burn. He's a good player. I think he had a really good performance yet again today. He had a good season so far. But going from Botman to Dan Burn is a big change. And Botman was outstanding. And he's well for a head landed awkwardly. It's an absolute shame. We'll wait and see this week about what happens with Botman, but he's getting a 10 out of 10 for me. Dan Burn now, yet again, thought he was fine. Couldn't do that with them goals. Obviously moving in the centre back after Botman came off. Will we see him start centre back against Brighton, his old team next week? Who knows? It was he done sound. He did. Salah was so quiet in that game, and Dan Burn really done well. Like, obviously the red card obviously didn't help Liverpool in the first half, and we were just so at them that the defence didn't really have to do much. But when he had to do stuff, he was fine, you know what I mean? And people sit there and go, oh, well, he left back, he left back, he left back. We've got Lewis Hall in. Yeah, he'll be a good player to come in for the squad, but for me, Dan Burn was fine. He really was. Good performance by Dan Burn. He's going to get a good 8 out of 10. Midfield now, we'll start with the hole in one, Bruno. I don't know what it is this season. He just hasn't been the level that he has been last season. I don't know what it is. I don't. He wasn't absolutely awful in the game, but to the Bruno standards that we all know, he was very disappointing again. City, he wasn't great. Aston Villa, probably our worst player, but wasn't bad. Today, it wasn't good enough. And it wasn't. Absolutely, I've been brutally honest with the player ratings, right? Fans will have their favourites and whatnot, and like, when Max had a bad game, I'd give Max a low rating, and people would be going, you can't give Max a low rating just because he was the favourite player. Bruno's loved by the club, right? He wasn't absolutely shocking. In the first half, he was good and whatnot, and fans will jump on the bandwagon after what happened this week on Twitter and whatnot. He came out and spoke about the fans and whatnot, but he wasn't great. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Now, one of the main talking points in the rant was why Tonali came off, and how he played today was absolutely brilliant. He was so quick, so tight, so strong. He was brilliant. He really was, and the way he was just gliding past players as well. There was one time it was a pinball next to the Gallagher corner. It was a pinball, and he just went in, swiped the ball of everyone, took them on, and won with a free kick, and we started singing his chant. He is good. He was a bit shaky in City last week. It was his first away game at the Etihad and whatnot. You can understand it. Today, bossed it. He was brilliant. Tonali's getting a 10 out of 10 for me. I've got one fucking brilliant performance so another. Joe Linton. I thought Joe Linton was absolutely sensational. My man of the match goes with Tonali and Trippier. He was absolutely fantastic. Like, honestly, absolutely brilliant. And no one will say unsafe probably. Heard a couple of people saying that when leaving the stadium, but he was absolutely amazing. Sky Sports will not judge on it. They'll just look at Núñez now. Joe Linton's performance today, boss Labasai, boss McAllister. No one can handle him. Harvey Elliott came on, he was brushing him off the ball, he was absolutely fantastic. And why did he come off? Don't even ask me, honestly I don't know. Joe Linton, 10 out of 10. Attacking now, I'm going to go to a negative, I'll move on. Yeah, it's... How on earth can you play a right winger who can't use his right foot? It is remarkable how he got 6, 7 goals in 7 games or whatever for the fuck it was last season. He can't go on his right foot and he plays on the right wing for a team that's got a Champions League draw in 4 days time. How on earth can you really cope with that? City last week, cutting back on his right foot against City. He has to sort himself out, because this season completely not good enough whatsoever, and he doesn't deserve to be in that starting 11 whatsoever anymore. Jacob Murphy, if Howe's going to keep the system, if Barnes and Gordon can only stay on that left hand side, because that's what it seems, Jacob Murphy better start next week. You know, he didn't come on or whatever, he has to start. He does. Almond cannot be in that team any longer, because if he does, it literally was like, yes, Liverpool had 10 men because of the record with Van Dijk. It was like 10v10 when he was on the pitch. Almond today, 4 out of 10. Anthony Gordon, absolutely buzzing for him. Absolutely brilliant he was. Trent Alexander-Arnold, couldn't handle him whatsoever. He was brilliant. Absolutely sensational. Even in the second half, he was a glimmer of hope. And then he got substituted off. But he keeps Almond on the pitch. I don't get it. We need questions, we need answers from Eddie Howe on that decision. And I wish I could ask that myself. How on earth can you take off our best player today? And he was. Like, he really was. Attacking wise, an absolute threat for 60 minutes or how long he played. He was brilliant. He really was. Took the goal really well. And then even the second half, literally the 46th minute, takes on a couple of players and now we've got a decent chance. He was brilliant. Gordon, 10. Alexander Isak got with the red card, worked his socks off yet again. It was a tough one. It was he couldn't really get going to get that chance. He had a couple of shots and whatnot, but now special. As I said, to bring Wilson in, I don't think so. I think Isaac's quality is there, and you've got to remember, lad, we've got like 4 really tough games in obviously Aston Villa, Man City, Liverpool, then Brighton, and he's got 2 goals in 3 games, and he looked a threat yet again today. I'm gonna give he could I don't know, it was a weird one, but I can understand why he took Isaac off. That's the only substitution I can understand, because of obviously bringing Wilson on. Wilson can score goals and he'd be looking a little bit tired obviously after running his socks off all day. Isaac, a good 7 out of 10 I'd say. And I'm honestly not even going to speak about the substitutes, because it killed the game. It really did. Sean Longstaff came on. We didn't do out bad, but Tonali was just better than him. He was. Joe Linton came off for Elliot Anderson, couldn't really do much. And then Barnes came on. It was weird. We attacked that side so much. Trent on a yellow, and Barnes came on him, and we just couldn't get going with him. Where Gordon was pacing down that line, and Trent couldn't handle it. Barnes was slowing down a bit, cutting inside, and that. You've got to drive at players like that, because if he hoys in a daft tackle and he gets sent off, it's 11 versus 9 or 10 versus 9 with fucking Almond on the pitch. And then the late substitution was Matt Target came on. It was nice to see him play, but didn't really do much. Not even going to give a rating for the substitutions, because it killed the game, and it'd be unfair to say, well, I'll give Longstaff or whoever a 0, who else, Wilson a 0 or a low rating, because it's not their fault why we lost it. It killed the game, the motivation, the drive that we had in that game. And it's not to do with them players, it was just when you play a game like that against a very high intense Liverpool team, you've got to keep that intense going, and Tonali and Joe Linton brought that, and when they came off we did. That's the player ratings, boys. Make sure I leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you off the game against Brighton.